Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. LSU still looking into the transfer portal, trying to finalize that football roster for the fall of 2024. Now, everyone has to be in the transfer portal, and there's no rules when you can't decide where you are actually going. So there's no deadline that we're trying to meet here. You're just observing and seeing what can happen. And LSU's still got a couple of scholarships here and there to play with, and we know that they're looking first and foremost at defensive tackle. We have talked about this for 2 months. It appears that search may end today. JVR Suggs, Grand Valley State product, has announced today as his decision date. I have not seen a time for that. I saw his tweet on his profile that said, hey, I'm going to make my decision tomorrow. That was last night when he made that tweet. So we'll keep our eyes on it and see when that happens. LSU got a visit. I think certainly has made impression there. Whether or not a 265, 270, 280-pound defensive tackle from that level of football can come in and help LSU, I don't know. Remains to be seen. I'm not going to throw a party over it, but I also realize that having another guy is not going to hurt you. All it can do is help. So I hope that JVR Suggs does decide to play at LSU. He does have 2 years of eligibility remaining. I made the mistake on the On3 message board. I was kicking things back and forth, talking with some of the users over there, and I said it was his last year. Shay said, no, he has 2 left. And I'm going, how does this math work? This guy enrolled in 2019 and redshirted. Got it. Did not play in 2020, COVID. That doesn't count. Got it. So then we play 21, 22, 23, 24. That looks like 6 years, and that's it for me. Somehow there's an extra year in there. I don't know how it works. I'm basically waving the white flag on all of the eligibility issues until like 3 years from now when I know for sure that everybody has exhausted their COVID years. But it sounds like JVR Suggs has 2 years left. We'll see if LSU can land him today. There are some other names in the transfer portal that LSU is expecting a visit from this week, whether that's today, tomorrow, or sometime later in the week. And those 2 names are Wesley Walker and Tyler Barron, who have been at Louisville and decided to transfer out. We talked about Walker earlier this week. Wesley Walker played 2,000 snaps at safety between Tennessee and Georgia Tech. He would have been the highest graded per PFF safety returning in the SEC this year. So that's a guy I'm all in on landing. I said that earlier this week. I still remain that way. Your secondary play was so poor last year. So many busts, so many poor run fits, so many missed tackles, missed opportunities on interceptions. Like, you were just bad. And I think Corey Raymond and his crew can help with some of that. But I'm not opposed to adding different players too. I know the numbers in terms of depth are it's there. You got a ton. You got tons of corners and safeties. I'm okay adding more. Get me as many options as possible back there so I can figure out what group is not going to give up the massive amount of big plays we saw last year. And if Wesley Walker is one of those guys, I am absolutely all for it at this point. I'm not as familiar with his teammate Tyler Barron. Barron is 6'5", 260-pound edge rusher. Played well last year. Played in 12 regular season games for Tennessee. Played all the games but their opener. He finished second on the team in sacks with 6, third in tackles for loss with 10.5. Both of those were career highs for him. So, yeah, LSU's defensive front, again, has some numbers, but I'm okay with adding talent there because the group they put out there last year wasn't quite good enough, and 3 of those guys just left for the NFL draft. So I'm not, as far as defense goes, I am not prepared to sit here and turn anyone away that has talent, and especially guys that have produced in the SEC. You land me guys that have played an SEC season, have started 12 games, and have had 6 sacks in the SEC and 10 TFLs, bring them on. I'm more excited about that than Grand Valley State. The example I'm bringing up time and time again, yes, Jared Verse could play at this level. That was pretty obvious. But there are far more guys that aren't Jared Verse. And I hope that JVR Suggs is Jared Verse. I have my doubts. I hope that Sean Washington comes in from junior college and plays like Jared Verse. I have my doubts. Doesn't mean that they can't. I want to see it. When guys have actually done it and have played at Georgia Tech and have played at Tennessee and have gotten a spot at Louisville, okay, I'm fine. I'm trying to overhaul this defense to such an extent that I'm not willing to turn away almost anybody. And what I know is true is that these guys are better than not signing anyone at all. Like, that is obvious. I don't want to give spots away when you're trying to bring in other guys and then there's no room at the end. No. Obviously, we don't want to do that. There's room at the end. Plenty of room. So I'm all for attracting defensive talent in every which way you can, whether that's in the secondary or up front. I don't know when the visits are supposed to come for Wesley Walker and for Tyler Barron, but we do know that JVR Suggs intends to make that announcement today. So we'll react to it if we learn anything over the next 35 minutes or so. More likely sometime this evening we'll hear about it, and then we'll tell you what we think on tomorrow's show. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.